but the Lord is in his holy temple. Let all the earth keep silence before him. Not praying, not singing Amazing Grace, what a wretch you are, not singing I got the joy, 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 down in my soul, down in my soul, but keeping silence before him. You know. Being silent. Like the song said this morning, silent sunset. The silence of a gull. You know, one of the most beautiful things when we were in the ocean, hiding in silence, in love, and in harmony with one another. And this is what life is. The silence of the dolphins, the silence, each thing carrying out its, and the destruction of our, you and me, the destroyers. To destroy the animals, to destroy the earth, to destroy the fish, and to destroy all of the things that God has created. But now we come to the holy temple. And remember, there is only one temple that is not built with human hands that God dwells in, and it's right here at the sides of your head. It's the only temple where you'll find that which you call God. It's right there at the sides of your head. There at the sides of your head. And for the first time, that's when you become aware of the eternal celebration that goes on and on and on. The unbroken circle that never ends. When you look within with no mind, it's all light. When you look within with no mind, it's all light. And what happens when you look within? When you come on Tuesday night or whenever you come and you look within yourself, wherever you may be in meditation, you look deep into the darkness of your own soul. You look deep into the darkness of your own mind. And Buddha says, when you look into that darkness, you see light. And Jesus Christ says, when you stimulate the pineal gland, when the eye be single, your body will fill with light. And you say, well, I sit in darkness in meditation. How can this be light? Look, go to page 747. In those little Bibles, okay? Page 747. And chapter 5, and look at verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. Look at that. And then go to verse 20. Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark, and no brightness in it? So when the guy's saying, I saw the light, he probably had indigestion because he was looking at the wrong thing. Look deep into yourself, to the darkness and to the stillness, because in that darkness and stillness is the center, is yourself, is the light. If you can only put your mind aside, you'll become aware of the cosmic play. And you become aware of your part in it, and then you become aware of energy that always is, energy that never ceases, never stops. And this is when we come into this beautiful age of Aquarius. And you rise into this higher mind. And it was Jesus Christ who prophesied it. It was Jesus Christ who said, hey, when you see the man with the pitcher of water enter into the house and go to the upper room, he said when the time of Aquarius comes, raise into the higher realms of consciousness and you'll be able to play in this act. But there's another possibility, and that's a possibility that affected me too. You can become conscious of the light, or you can become conscious of the self. You fall. You're confined. You live in a prison, in a cell. The Bhagwan says you live in a sealed cave of your own mind, and I've been there, and each one of you have been there. Into that deep, secret, sealed cave where God is your enemy. And the mind is your shelter. In Romans 8:7, the Apostle Paul says the carnal mind is enmity against God. When you are in consciousness above the mind, remember something. You have no body, you have no name, you have no form, you're not man nor woman, you have no religion. All the things that isolate you, women have been degraded by the Bible, by religion. Women have had to struggle and fight and do whatever they could to simply gain a degree of respect and equality. Why? Because they have been butchered by the religions of the world. And now you get to a point where you rise above that. As soon as you're born, what happens? You're in your mother's womb, you're a beautiful child, you're a little baby. Nobody knows, but everybody loves little babies about to be born. But as soon as you're born, they put a name on you. And you're a Jew, or you're an Italian, you're Spanish, you're Puerto Rican, whatever you are, all of a sudden millions of people hate you. You didn't even get a chance to spit yet. You're going, everybody hates you because you're a Jew, you're Italian, you're black, because they put a label on you. What is the kid's name? Here, the kid's name, A.B. Schwartz. Another one. He didn't do nothing. He don't know nothing. But everybody doesn't like him because he's a little Jewish kid. Little black kid comes out. God, the world's overrun. What get out of this? See, somebody sticks a label on you. No more. In meditation, there is no black. There's no white. There's nothing. This beautiful nature comes alive into a silence, out of a silence. And this is what I learned. And this is the scripture I wanted to share with you because it's very meaningful to me now. It's very meaningful to you in your life. And this is something that a human being has a very hard time doing because you want to swing out. I mean, do you know what I was doing? This new manager that's taken over my job, do you know my mind was creating scenarios where his car would overturn on the highway coming up? What is this? He could have kids and everything. I don't want this. But you know what? We have a psychologist at our job. And his name is Rich Petrino. I said, hey, Rich, my mind is thinking these horrible things. And I don't want this to happen. He says, Bill, let me tell you something. You're the first one to talk to me that's normal. He says, everybody really feels that way. He said, the ones I'm worried about are the other people here who are saying, everything is all right. I got the joy, 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 joy. And they're fakakta already with this inside. Because your mind doesn't ask for your permission to think the car's going to overturn. It doesn't, just bang, it's there. But recognizing it and understanding what's going on within yourself is the salvation. This is what I want to show you. Go to page 59, and I'll get you out of here in a few minutes. Page 59. We're having a good time this morning, right? 4th of July. And verse 14, what does it say? The Lord shall fight for you, and you shall hold your peace. Your help is not required. When they're ready to come for you and sock it to you, there'll be a 737 waiting on the tarmac to whisk you right the heck out of here. That's what happens. There's no coincidence. This is a truth. This has come in the new age to be there for you no matter what the struggle or the crisis is. It will be there for you, and it will lift you out of it. It really will. It really. Just that silence. When you are not, then God is. God is you. And how can the future fail if God is you when you enter into that meditation? A new power arises to carry you to what you call God, which is that higher realms of consciousness. See, don't you see, what's original sin? Wow, what a response. What's original sin? Let me tell you what it is. Well, on top of this, that's what you are. I've been doing this for 7 years, but I mean, you got it. The tree of what? Knowledge. Huh? That's it. Yeah, I understand that, but it's knowledge. It's understanding. The good and evil part is, see that? Watch that. See that? You see that? The good and evil part is that which is the duality of the positives and negatives and lights and darknesses. Because when you enter into the lower mind, you get a lot of good ideas. But intermixed with all of those good ideas is a lot of stuff that'll kill you. And very often we don't know which is which. And what we'll say is after we got done screwing something up entirely, said, Jesus, I thought it was a good idea. I didn't know this was going to happen. I never thought this was going to happen. But knowledge is the key. Because the first thing that you do when you study, the first thing that you do when you open the book is what? How will this knowledge help me? What can I do with this knowledge that I am gathering within myself? And the desires come right along with it. You can't have knowledge unless you have a desire to improve yourself. How will this knowledge hurt me? The more knowledge, the more ego. And this is the problem. It may make you smart, but it will never make you childlike. And that's the key. It will never make you innocent. See, the tree of knowledge, the tree of life is in the midst of the garden of God, which is located to the east of Eden, which means it's on the right side. And the tree of knowledge you shall not eat. In other words, what's being said there, that you must meditate above the thoughts of the mind. Knowledge comes from the mind. Spirit comes from the higher consciousness. Where there is no knowledge, that's where you must eat. Huh? To him that overcomes, I will give to eat of the tree of life. It is the right hemisphere of the brain. The tree of knowledge is planted in the vineyard. How do I know it's the right hemisphere of the brain? And what I'm saying to you is you're listening to me right now with 10% of your brain. You're working and you're reading and you're studying and all the things you're doing with 10% of your brain. What about the other 90% that you have never activated? Nobody ever told you about. About the tree of life. And I say to you that it's in the vineyard of life. Where is it? Go with me, quick. Page 500. And the vineyard which your right hand has planted, and the branch that you made strong for yourself. Planted by the right hand of God, which is the right hemisphere of the brain. Look at page 5. The Lord is your keeper. The Lord is your shade upon your right hand. Ecclesiastes chapter 10. Look at verse 2. Read it with me. Do you know how they do that on TV, the evangelists? But this is something that they should read and they should learn to understand. A wise man's heart is at his right hand, but a fool's heart is at his left. So, as we sum up and we finish, Bhagavan says knowledge is all right, but not for God. In other words, I don't care how intelligent you are, I don't care how much studying you've done, I don't care how many books you've read, I don't care how many Bibles you've read, all of that knowledge is fine for the other guy, but it doesn't count with God. It's off limits with God. Because the only place God dwells in this universe is at a place where there is no human thought, it's all divine thought, so knowledge ceases to exist. See, in other words, what is this? You are taught the names of flowers. Oh, there's roses, and there's dahlias, and there's gladiolas, and there's all of these kinds of flowers. But you know what? You're never taught to dance with the flower. You're never taught to be with the flower. And I know of, right, to stop but to be, and what do you have to do? You have a beautiful rose, and what do you have to say? Oh, it's beautiful. And then you've screwed it up, because it doesn't need any of your words. Just to take it and commune with it. And I know of Mount McKinley, and I know of Mount Shasta, and I know of seagulls and eagles and hawks and everything, but I've never been taught to be one, to commune with the mountains, or to commune with the birds or the seagulls. Never been taught that. So I learned in school all of their names, but I never learned to be one with them. You know, open, and you're one with everything. You are everything. Because the only thing that keeps you confined and separated from nature is your skull. Once you get outside of that, you are everything. You and the gull are one. You and the sea are one. You and the ocean are one. And when you sing that Om, you become that drop of dew that comes hurtling down out of the sky and says, oh, I'm going to crash into the ocean and I'm going to die. I'm not going to exist anymore. But as soon as that little drop of dew comes out of the sky, as soon as it touches the ocean, it becomes the sea. And then all of the mighty ships can float upon it. All it carves out continents, and all of these wonderful things happen. That's why religion is wrong. Religion is wrong is because they are not helping you to become free. They are keeping you controlled by the mind. They are keeping you controlled by the system. And Jesus teaches the single eye and take no thought in the right side. And Jesus Christ said in John 8:31, if you do what I tell you, you shall know truth, and the truth shall make you free. And that's what's got to happen to you. And that's what's got to happen to this world. They've got to be free from the systems and the religions. Buddha wants you to use your mind. Krishna wants you to use your mind. Jesus wants you to use your mind. But they don't want you to be used by your mind. The master has become the slave. Well, the statement that Bhagwan made, which is typical Bhagwan and typical Eastern wisdom. You are unhappy. And the reason you are unhappy is because you are standing on your head. And when you are standing on your head, how can you dance? You're crippled. You're paralyzed. Get on your feet. Lift your head upward. And when your head is lifted upward, then you can fly.